talking about today is trust. Trust, trust, trust. So the title that I have for us is choosing to completely trust yourself. Say it with me. I can trust myself. I always make the best choices. I always make the right choices. It's safe to be me. I trust myself. When I'm seeing a lot of the questions that come up in the group, which once again, it's safe to ask anything. You can't ask a wrong question or a bad question or any of that. But the question, if I take the questions that are asked in here, and it's even, with myself when I'm in a space of second guessing or worry or trying to figure out what to do next, I find over and over again that the answers to everything get pretty easy when we can tune into this space of fully trusting ourselves. And so actually, let me just add a little bit of a few journal prompts into here as well with that post I just did. Choosing to completely trust yourself. Say it with me. I can trust myself. I always make the best choices. I always make the right choices, and it's safe to be me. How you could approach this in terms of a prompt, if you do best in terms of like responding, and this works well with different human design types as well, that many of us aren't manifestors. We don't just come up with things, but we tend to do better when we get to respond to something. And that's where prompts can be so, so powerful. So a prompt could be, if I now completely trusted myself, I would what? If I knew it was safe to be all of me, I would ... What would it feel like if I no longer second guessed myself ever again? What would the energy, emotions, and feelings I would now experience be if I fully and completely trusted myself? Okay, let's start with that. This is one of the biggest practices that I think will serve as many of us as possible. Because at the end of the day, we are in a space where we're continually changing, growing, evolving, and in situations where we have to make decisions, especially as multi-passionate creatives and entrepreneurs, right? We have tons of ideas, and not only do we have tons of ideas, we also live in an age, which is such a gift, but can sometimes be overwhelming, where there are approximately 7,000 outlets at any given moment for us to create or share our ideas on. And then we're like, okay, do I use Pinterest or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, or do I get off of traditional social media altogether? Or maybe I should post some videos to YouTube, or maybe I should start a in-person networking group, or maybe I should write a book or a podcast, or on and on and on and on and on, right? And the biggest way to clear out all of the overwhelm that can come along with that is getting back to the fact, the decision to trust yourself. That is the biggest thing that has set me free. At my core, I trust myself. I trust that I will always make the right decision. I trust that I will always make the best decision for me at any given moment. I trust that I have the freedom to change my mind, and I can do so as inspired. I trust that everything's always working out for me. It's all adding up. It's all happening in my favor. So I literally can't screw it up. Think about the amount of time, energy, overwhelm, second guessing that you would save yourself on by now doing this. I'm going to drop this in here as well. How much time, energy, overwhelm, second guessing, etc. would you save yourself from if you now fully trusted yourself? And what do you think you could do with that much extra time and energy? When people ask me how I have so much freedom, one of the biggest reasons is because I no longer spend tons and tons of time in overwhelm, second guessing, and going back and forth on decisions. I make decisions pretty quickly. If I don't know the next aligned action to take, I feel safe and trust myself, to give myself the time that I need to be still, be quiet, move my body, whatever it is, so that the next definitive, aligned, or inspired action can present itself. And a lot of times it's like, yeah, but how do I know it's the right one? Because I trust it. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my gut. I have practiced on repeat what it feels like when something locks in. And I have calibrated myself to continually look for that feeling. And if it's not there yet, I specifically identify the thing. This is so important. I don't think I've said this before. I specifically identify the thing that is making me feel like it's not in alignment, and I deal with that thing. I either adjust it, I change it, or I change my approach to it. Okay? So these prompts that I'm giving you are so powerful, because what it's going to do is give you a touch point on even a taste and a teaser, if trust is not something you feel like is in your life consistently right now, of what would it feel like if I did fully trust myself. You're going to get a little glimpse at the very least of what that would be like. Once you know what that is, now you have a set point. I'm not saying you're going to be there all the time, but if you've got a set point, emotion, feeling, energy, then you can notice when you're not at that set point and you can recalibrate back. How do you do so? By noticing what are the things in your life, in your business, in your experience that are causing you not to feel this way, and align them. I do this all the time. If I'm feeling off in my body, I notice what's going on and what do I need to do to get back to this feeling of freedom and trust. Is it movement? Is it eating something differently? I do the same thing in my business. This is what I'm doing all the time. It's why you see me put out courses and programs quickly. It's why you see me make adjustments, release things, close things down, because I'm constantly tuning in on this set point. And my dream and my desire is to have my entire life feel like it is a streamlined, focused channel between heaven and earth. My focus, my purpose is to be a bridge between cosmic energy, inspired energy, thoughts, ideas, inspiration, creativity, and bringing that down onto the physical plane through my body. That is what is the purpose, the joy of getting to be human. So I want my channel to be focused. And if you want additional work on this, all of you have access to the bonus course over in your membership site called Reset to Soul. And that course goes into more detail around how our energy can get splattered, especially from traumas and things that have triggered us, and how to bring that energy into a deeper sense of alignment. The book Energy Codes, and I've lost her name right now, Sue Morter? Dr. Sue Morter. That's always fabulous to me, right? Like, I know all the information is out here all the time we can call on it. And that's part of what helps me feel at peace on these calls as well. It's like, I know the information's there. Exactly what is meant to come through will come through exactly when I ask for it or at the divine timing. But that course and that book, I never finished that book, but that book I know goes into aligning your energy channels as well. But that's what we're talking about right now, right here, is when you trust yourself, you're able to pinpoint the areas that need adjusted so that you can feel completely aligned, okay? So trust is the great liberator. When you're trying to figure out, yeah, but how do I launch the thing, and which platform do I go on, and whatever the questions are, what offer do I do, and what do I charge? Every single question, just about, can be distilled down to, if I completely trusted myself, I would now what? And what I found this does is more and more as you approach life in this way, you notice that this community or me or even our calls, you don't hop on here because you need me or anyone else to tell you what to do. You hop on here to continue recalibrating to this energy of deep knowing and trust, because you know at your core that no one knows you like you. No one knows your destiny on this planet like you. No one knows the legacy work that you are meant to do and feel it whispering to you from within, like you. No one knows the offers, the business, the pricing, the lifestyle, the adornments, whatever it is that you're meant to experience like you do. This is what I want for you. Okay? Any questions around any of that? So in summary, the prompts are here in the comments and they're pinned to the top of the comments. I'll post them in the group afterwards as well. We can go much deeper into this topic, as deep as you all would like. We'll probably do an entire course on this. But in summary, this is what we're focused on here at the beginning today, is choosing to completely trust yourself. Say it with me. I trust myself. I always make the best choices. I always make the right choices. It's safe to be me. I trust myself. And the prompts are, if I now completely trusted myself, I would. If I knew it was safe to be me, all of me, I would. What? And what would it feel like if I no longer second guess myself ever again? What would the energy, emotions, and feelings that I would now experience be if I fully and completely trusted myself? How much time, energy, overwhelm, second guessing, etc. would you save yourself from if you now fully trusted yourself? And what do you think you could do with that much extra time and energy?